Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Selwyn7, the anime gamer, and I'm here to ask then answer a very simple question. What is the Valiant? The Valiant is a action RPG developed by Kite Games and published by THQ Nordic. It is available on Steam for around $56 AUD or around $34 USD. The story that takes place is that you are playing as knights during the Crusade as Templar Knights, and you encounter a mysterious artifact of which involves a mystery and conspiracy that you must solve, which we'll actually get into more a little bit later. Alright, so what's going to be happening is I'm going to be giving my first impressions, and we're going to do that by going straight into the options menu. Straight off the bat, there's nothing really much here to say about it. Everything is fairly standard. You can play the game in either mouse and keyboard or with a controller, an Xbox controller. Video graphics are pretty standard. There is of course windowed mode, which is always a plus because if I want to check the time and if I don't have two monitors, that's just very important to me because my monitor setup is shit. But yeah, so we have volume. The game is available in about 14 languages. And that's all good. By the way, if you play an RTS with a controller, you're a heretic. You're a piece of shit. And I don't want you watching my channel. Okay. I kid. Alright. So, as for the competitive aspect of the game itself, it is available in 3 modes with Quick Match, Custom Match, and Ranked Match. There is only one set objective to fulfill, though the game is available, though each match can be available in 4 maps, but essentially whilst you're playing in competitive mode you will have to pretty much gather resources and capture objective points, as you can clearly see here. That's about it, really. It's pretty straightforward. The queue times are actually pretty fast, or at least at the time of this recording, and you can pretty much just get into ranked matches straight away if you want to. Though generally, I would probably go with quick matches first to get started practicing, mainly because I'm terrible at PvP, really. So yeah, let's actually just get into the campaign itself. Alright, so I've skipped ahead past the tutorial straight into gameplay here. What I will say for the game itself is that the graphics are okay. They're nothing special, they're pretty average, to be honest, but I mean, they're not too detailed. It's just kind of like a fairly standard diorama, I suppose, but you know what? It's satisfying. It's alright, it's moderate, but it's good enough. And the main reason I say that is because essentially while you're playing the game, all your focus is going to be on gameplay, and that's probably because of the stunning music that's very emotive. Like, when you're in combat, you feel like you're in the thick of it, and you just need to really concentrate on what you are actually doing. That said, though, it does get a bit repetitive, and it can kind of grind on your nerves a bit, but it's okay. As you can clearly see here, each unit has 2 status bars. One is essentially their fortitude, and the second is their health. It's like Protoss shields, essentially. If your fortitude goes down, then you're going to start losing health, and so you have to decide, you know, which units you need to prioritize in terms of keeping alive. Each hero unit has their own squad, and everything else is pretty much recruitable from these camps over here. Now, when you're in the campaign, you will not be able to actually plan your moves. You won't be able to plan your movements at all. You won't be able to issue commands. You're pretty much just stuck here trying to figure out everything, every move, every action that you want to take, which kind of irks me a little bit, but it makes sense because it is an action RTS game. The voice acting is nice. It's very theatrical. It kind of reminds me of the old old movies about Knights of the Round Table, and of course the story itself being that you are playing
At the ready.
the Knights Templar during the Crusades. Makes it all, well, it's not really a story that I'm personally into, but there's a supernatural aspect to it that kind of gives off a sort of Indiana Jones vibe. In that, spoilers, you are dealing with an artifact left behind by biblical times, by God, by Genesis, and, well, it kind of involves a crisis of faith. It implies there's gonna be a crisis of faith here. It's almost like a mystery detective story, and I kind of really like that because it's like you're a paladin, and you know, you're like this brave knight, you're like this primitive soldier, and you have to deal with weird esoteric mysteries, and it's just, there's a certain gothic appeal to it without even needing to be gothic, really. The interface is easy to understand and is fairly straightforward, especially if you're familiar with RTS games themselves. Each unit, all of them have their own spells. It doesn't matter if it's a hero unit or not. However, that said, while playing the game currently so far, there is a bug where for example, where Ulrich had left us to chase the enemy. Unfortunately, that kind of breaks the game a little bit.
Look, brother.
Lord Ulrich charged into the retreating Saracens. Into his death, Lord. What madness took him?
I do not know, but we have to.
Alright, so what you saw there was an in-game cutscene. That's a plus for me. In terms of storytelling for an RTS, that is very important to me. I like that because it pretty much immerses you into the world itself, and it feels like you're more part of the story as well. Furthermore, back to that bug I mentioned, yeah, the game is a little bit buggy in that when a unit just leaves you, splits off from the party, it breaks off your selection. Pretty much I'm using the number keys to select each unit here, and unfortunately everything just defaults back to how everything is originally set up when the units first appear or when you recruit new units. So what that means essentially is that I can only select Theodore over here, Theodoric, meaning that if I want to select, for example, the Spearmen, I have to essentially manually select them, and that feels like that kind of slows me down. I don't think that's, I'm not sure if that's an issue in competitive mode, as I haven't actually lost units. One of the things I really do like about this game, though, is the voice line, is the voice delivery when you select each unit. And what I mean by that is essentially they're all praying to God. They're all, you know, they're the Knights Templar. They're loyal to the Lord, to God. And what that means is basically you're God. You are God. And you know what? That's satisfying. I find that to be incredibly flattering and ego boosting, because I am literally their God. I control their actions and prayers. I am the one who decides their fate. I can choose who lives and who dies. And that's very empowering and very satisfying and also immersive, which is great. It's fantastic. And I have to say again, the theatrical delivery of the theatrical dialogue is just, as someone who has watched classic movies as a kid on the Sunday afternoon, it just brings back that nostalgia. It's very satisfying for me as well. Also, the game's a little bit campy, but you know what? That's okay, because it's, you know, its sort of campy nature adds to its you know, the theatrical presentation of the units, of the fight, of combat. You know, it just, you're in olden day times. You're in olden day times. You're in,
Retribution
you know,
awaits.
you're in the Crusade era. You're Knights of the Templar. You have tabards and swords and drink and beer made out of piss. I don't know if you actually do drink beer in this game. I don't know if if you can go and visit a tavern. I did not play ahead far enough. But you know what? I don't care. Also, I have lost my spearmen, so I'm in a bit of a pinch here because I'm losing fortitude. And I need to pretty much increase my damage with some vengeance over here. Because I don't want to start the game from the beginning. So we're just gonna murder this guy.
Someone fell upon these Saracens, Lord. Massacred them good.
Why would Ulrich do this?
I've lost my spearmen, so I need to go back
must
to my
find
original
him.
camp. Though what I could do instead
on the
is try to
march,
capture
in
a
God's
new
name.
camp over here, one of the other capture points. Though apparently I'm under attack by these
Under
archers
attack!
who are still alive. Because my pikemen did not kill them. That's okay, we're just gonna do extra damage and we're just gonna murder them hard as best we can.
You shall feel my wrath.
I'm loving the music here. It's taking all my attention right now to play this game,
On the
but I'm
march.
okay with it. I'm okay with this taking my focus.
Strength of God. An opening. Attack.
Okay. So as you can tell here, depending on where you play in the terrain, you can pretty much just jungle. You can just hide and ambush your enemies, or get ambushed. It's up to you. Personally, I don't want to get ambushed myself, but it's a nice feature if you want to figure out your attack, if you want to figure out your moves ahead, especially in PvP. Oh, and it looks like we got ambushed while we were trying to set up our own ambush. So that is unfortunate. I cannot pause, so I need to figure out my moves as I play, as I go along. So that is a thing. If you notice here during combat though, as my knights, or as each, well, pretty much as the fight goes on, the moment these units land a hit, what can happen sometimes is that their weapons will actually get stuck on your enemies. And a nice feature here is that arrows will also get stuck onto your units as well. So that is actually nice. That is a nice attention to detail. I like that a lot. What I don't like though is getting attacked by these archers. So we need to murder them now.
Fight with the strength of God.
We need to murder these weak little baby archers. Yes, the archers are dead. They can go fuck themselves.
Retribution
Oh no,
awaits.
but they're getting revenged. They're getting revenge. They're getting vengeance by these. They're getting avenged by these spearmen. Look at that. Look at that animation. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that combat animation. Isn't that glorious? It's absolutely fucking glorious. It is. Oh my god. It's just a nice little feature. The dialogue can be a little bit deadpan, but you know what? I'm okay with it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those arrows stuck in those shields. Oh, there's like an arrow stuck inside this knight's back. Is it? No, it's... Oh, it's stuck in his chest. Oh, he's bleeding. Oh, he's in pain. That's a shame. That's a terrible shame. Better not take those arrows out, because you'll fucking die from blood loss. Oh no, that's terrible. Alright, so we're going to pretty much go into a PvP match with the AI here. Each squad that you start off will have either a hero unit, and that's it. You are not getting any more hero units. In order to get more units from a base camp or a replenishment camp, you will need to spend gold, and in order to get gold, you'll need to capture some resource points.
Our quivers are full.
Essentially here.
Yes, Lord.
While we're doing that, if you want to perhaps
Swarm the
upgrade your
brothers.
units, you can pretty much do so here at the training ground. And also, you don't need to go back to the training ground. You can just straight up select them wherever you are and just wait for your units to arrive. Which is actually kind of sweet. It's kind of convenient. As you can tell, I don't play MOBA games and I don't play RTS PvP in years. So I don't know jack shit as to whether or not this is a new feature. But it's something that is nice to have. It's just a nice little feature that is absolutely handy.
My liege, moving out. Your will be done. Scouting ahead. Marching.
Bolts and quarrels. We have captured a new victory point.
Should we get moving? Moving out on the double, sire.
Moving out, sire.
Lances and swords.
At your command. Moving. Scouting ahead. Moving. On the double, sire. On the march.
We ride.
Ready.
Your command, brother?
Orders. We have captured a new gold mine.
Aye. Leave none standing. By your will, Lord.
So, what can I say about the Valiant? Well, the story is fun, though a little campy. There's the whole supernatural Indiana Jones-like mystery to it with medieval knights and pretty much involving, I guess, a crisis of faith. I have not gone further enough in the story to figure it out, but it's got that element of holy warriors trying to solve a profane mystery, which is very gothic and it's almost dark and appealing to me. The music is great, though a little bit repetitive. The graphics are, well, not special. Pretty much provide a nice set piece. They pretty much give you a nice set piece in terms of the game's maps itself. As for PvP, ranking at the moment, at the time of this recording, it takes a little while to find a match. And if you're bored, it's definitely something that you could probably deal with if you just, I don't know, if you just need to fight someone, just get a quick match done and over with, and then, you know, move on to some other hobby. Though, in terms of the wait time, I wouldn't do that if I were you. This game is fun. It has all the right pieces. It looks like it has all the right pieces, as this is my first impressions. And honestly, I would play this game for the campaign only. I mean, on the weekend, I'd play PvP because it kind of looks like a good way to kill time. But yeah, all in all, this game is kind of enjoyable, though there are some bugs that need to be fixed. This is a good game to play if you just wanna. If you want to play something between major releases, if you need something to tide you over, if you need to maybe scratch that itch. Is it worth $30 to $40 price tag? Kind of. I would say yes. It's worth the price. Though I kind of wish there was a little bit more in terms of what's available in terms of for objectives for PvP. I kind of hope that maybe if this game had the Steam Workshop available, then I think it would vastly improve its shelf life, because it would be like Warcraft essentially, where you could have custom mods as well, and then this game would take a life on its own, but it doesn't. So yeah, it's just a good game. It's a good game with a decent story to capture your attention, and it's fairly entertaining. And that's all I'll say about it. So yeah, The Valiant is a good game. It's worth playing. It's, you know, it's something for a weekend or an afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, really. And that's about it, really. So yeah, so if you like this video, please press the like button. If you dislike it, press the dislike button, even though that's no longer displayed on YouTube. If you want to see more videos, please be sure to subscribe, press the notification button, even though it's bullshit, but it's just a part of YouTube now. And if you have something to say so in the comments below. I'm Selwyn7, the anime gamer, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-me!